The world is changing fast, and in this new world order, India is no longer a silent participant. India is the agenda setter, the power that defines the global direction, from the digital revolution to global counterterrorism leadership to the voice of the global South. India is shaping the future like never before. And the biggest proof came at the G20 Summit 2025 held in South Africa, a moment that will be remembered in history. Because the most powerful, the most headline-dominating, and the most Pakistan-shocking outcome of this summit was the bold global declaration on terrorism. For the first time ever, G20 nations spoke in absolute clarity. There will be no safe haven for terrorism. There will be no justification for terrorism. Any state that shelters terrorists is also a criminal. That, word for word, is India's doctrine. And the world just adopted it. Pakistan, which for decades played the victim of terrorism card, just got globally exposed. G20 2025 was a message to Islamabad, loud and clear. The world now understands your terror policy, and you cannot escape anymore. India, the global digital leader. The digital revolution the world talks about today, the blueprint didn't come from Silicon Valley. It came from India's digital public infrastructure, DPI, UPI, Aadhaar, DigiLocker, FASTag, G. 2020-25 formally recognized that India has built the fastest, securest, and most inclusive digital ecosystem on the planet. Nations are not just admiring India, they are learning from India. India leading the global AI ethics framework. Artificial intelligence is the new frontier, but who will define its rules responsibly? The world has now chosen India. The G20 declaration adopted India's AI principles. AI should be transparent, AI should be safe, AI should protect human interests. Technology should empower, not threaten, society. Just a few years ago, India used to follow policy. Now India writes policy, and the world follows. Women-led development. From India to the world, one of the pillars of India's G20 presidency was women-led development. Not women participating, but women leading. South Africa continued that model this year because India has proven that rapid development begins only when women take charge, not when they are just included. India's domestic policies have become global standards. Climate leadership. India sets the new benchmark. India has been telling the world for years, climate justice must be fair. The burden on developing countries cannot be ignored. This time, the world agreed. G20 acknowledged that developed nations will require $5.8 to $5.9 trillion by 2030 to meet green goals, a truth India pushed with data and conviction. India's global initiative, Lifestyle for Environment, now has full G20 backing. The face of climate justice is now India. UNSC reform. The world moves toward India. India has long argued that the structure of the UN Security Council is outdated. G20 2025 endorsed the call for a more representative UNSC, that is, direct global support for India's legitimate demand for a permanent seat. India's voice is not just heard anymore, the world is acting on it. The final message of G20 2025 to the world. This summit was not just a conference, it was a turning point. India is now the center of global diplomacy. India's counterterrorism doctrine is the global standard. India is the voice of the global South. Pakistan is under global pressure like never before, and the headline that will be written in history, G20 2025, adopted India's line on terrorism, and the world united behind it. The era of ignoring terrorism is over. The era of India-led global leadership has begun. This is the new India, not a follower, a world leader, and the future of global politics is already shifting around it.